Imagine that you have a bold vision, a revolutionary idea, and the ambition to transform the world. Now think of the monumental challenges that come along the way: critics, failures, sleepless nights, and the overwhelming pressure to risk everything. For most people, that would be a nightmare. For Elon Musk, it's just another ordinary day. What makes Musk different? He was not born billionaire, did not inherit an empire, and believe me, has been on the verge of bankruptcy more than once. But there is something that separates him from the majority: his habits. Yes, it is not luck. It is not an unattainable genius. That's the way he thinks and acts every day that puts him ahead. In this video, we will unravel 5 habits that Elon Musk constantly applies to build revolutionary companies, challenge the impossible, and become one of the most influential minds of our time. Best of all, you can adapt these habits to your life without having to work 100 hours a week or build rockets. So if you want to learn how to increase your productivity, develop strategic thinking, and climb your success, stay until the end, because each of these habits can turn the way you face your challenges and opportunities. Prepare to think big and act like the billionaires. So, let's go straight to the first habit. If there is a name that symbolizes innovation, ambition, and of course, a good deal of controversy, that name is Elon Musk. SpaceX founder Tesla, New Rock, and the Boring Company not only challenged entire industries, but also redefined what is possible. He doesn't think small. While most companies are looking for incremental improvements, Musk aims to impossible: colonize Mars, create autonomous cars on a global scale, and connect brains to computers. And if there is one thing that he proves every day, it is that thinking big is just the first step. But this trajectory is not just made of victories. Musk has been on the edge of the financial collapse. Their companies have faced almost fatal crises, and their controversial statements on Twitter have already cost billions to the market. He is loved by many, criticized by so many. But one thing no one can deny: he is moved by a relentless determination. While others would give up on obstacles, Musk sees each failure as another valuable data for adjustments and improvements. Your leadership style is also a point of discussion. Musk demands the most of his teams. He works more than anyone, and in many cases he gets involved in details that traditional CEOs would never worry. For him, innovation and entrepreneurship are not just abstract concepts. They are daily battles that require an extreme level of impairment. He charges it from himself and expects the same from others. And this approach, although controversial, works. But behind the relentless entrepreneur, there is a strategic thinker who operates based on solid principles. Musk does not follow conventional rules. He applies what he calls first principles, a method that rules out assumptions and goes straight to the fundamental laws of physics and economics to find more efficient solutions. This type of mindset allows him to see opportunities where others see insurmountable barriers. Now the question that remains is, how can one develop this ability to innovate and resilience? What are the daily habits that feed this mindset? In the next topics, we will explore just that, starting for the first fundamental pillar of Musk's success: extreme work and time management. Elon Musk is not just a billionaire, he is an architect of the future. Their companies were not born to follow trends, but to create new industries and challenge what seemed impossible. Tesla, for example, turned electric cars from a niche curiosity into a global phenomenon. Today, driving a Tesla is not just a matter of fuel economy, but a symbol of innovation and cutting-edge technology. For Musk, improving combustion engines made no sense. The future was in total electrification, and he bet it all on. SpaceX was born of its obsession with making humanity a multi-planetary civilization. Instead of accepting the absurd costs of traditional space missions, he applied the thinking of first principles to reinvent the aerospace industry. The result? Reusable rockets, drastic reduction of costs, and billionaire contracts with NASA. What looked like science fiction is now getting closer to reality, with ambitious missions towards Mars on the horizon. But Musk didn't stop there. With New Rock, he wants to integrate the human brain with artificial intelligence. It may seem like a fiction movie, But the advances of this technology can revolutionize the treatment of neurological diseases and, in the long run, completely change the way we interact with machines. If this sounds exaggerated, remember a few years ago, autonomous cars also seemed impossible. And of course, we have the Boring Company, which came from its frustration with traffic. While most people would complain about the problem, Musk preferred to create a solution: high-speed underground tunnels that can completely change urban transport. Hyperloop's project, a kind of ultra-fast train moving to a vacuum, is still in the early stages, but already shows how much he thinks in front of his time. Each of these companies reflects not only innovation, but the ambitious and radical thinking of Musk. He doesn't just want to improve the world, he wants to redefine it. But is this a matter of innate genius or extremely well-cultivated habits? In the next topics, we will explore the daily practices that support this level of productivity and vision. And the first one is the most challenging of all: extreme work and time management. Many people look at Elon Musk and think, this guy is a genius. I could never do what he does. But the truth is that his success is not just from intelligence or luck, for habits and mentalities that anyone can develop. The purpose of this video is precisely to reveal what these daily practices are and how you can apply them to transform your life and career. Musk is an extreme example of productivity, resilience, and strategic thinking. He works tirelessly, manages multiple companies at the same time, and never accepts a no in response. But what exactly does he do in everyday life to maintain this hallucinating pace? How does it make decisions that impact the whole world? These are questions that we will answer exploring your most powerful habits. Each of the 5 habits we will address here is not just theory, that they have been tested and applied by Musk for years. And more than that, they can be adapted to anyone who wants to increase their productivity, think more strategically, and achieve extraordinary results. You don't have to be a billionaire or found a revolutionary company to benefit from these practices. In the next few minutes, you will learn how Musk manages your time to maximize every second of the day, how it takes full responsibility for the challenges it faces, and why it devotes so much time to continuous learning. Let's talk about your ability to take calculated risks and your exponential growth mindset, the famous 10x thought, which makes you seek gigantic advances rather than minor improvements. So if you want to find out how to apply these habits to your routine and transform your potential, keep watching. Let's start with the first and perhaps the hardest of all: extreme work and time management. If there is a habit that defines Elon Musk, it is extreme work. While many people seek balance between personal and professional life, Musk operates on another level. He works between 80 and 100 hours a week, dividing his time between Tesla, SpaceX, and his other companies. For him, this dedication is not a sacrifice, but a need to achieve grandiose goals. If you work twice the others, you will inevitably advance faster. But how can he keep this pace without collapsing? The secret is in time management. Musk uses a technique called time boxing, where each day is planned in 5-minute blocks. Yes, 5 minutes. This avoids waste of time and ensures that all important tasks are completed. If you have felt that the day has passed and you did nothing productive, this technique can change your routine. Just plan each activity in advance and eliminate idle time gaps. Another key strategy of Musk is the elimination of distractions. It avoids unnecessary meetings, answers emails objectively, and cuts any activity that does not have a direct impact on your goals. Applying this in your life, you can set a specific time to check social networks, turn off notifications, and use techniques like Pomodoro to keep the total focus. Small adjustments in how you use your time can double your productivity. But does not work so much to work out? Musk has already admitted that his routine is extremely exhausting, but he compensates for it, devoting time only to what really matters. It does not overwhelm with operational tasks that can be delegated and focuses only on critical decisions. This is an essential point. It is not about working anymore, but working better. If you want to apply this habit to your life, start identifying where your time is being wasted. Record your routine for a few days. Find out which activities are really productive and eliminate what does not add value. Use the boxing team to plan your day and adopt a ruthless approach against distractions. Small changes can create a powerful cascade effect on your productivity. And now, let's go to the next essential habit: total responsibility. If something goes wrong with Tesla, SpaceX, or any of his companies, Musk does not blame others, he assumes full responsibility. This concept, known as extreme ownership, means that you are solely responsible for your results, whether good or bad. For Musk, it doesn't matter if a problem arose by an employee's error, external failure, or unexpected circumstances. He faces everything as part of his responsibility and acts to solve. This mindset can completely transform your life. Many people blame the economy, government, luck, or even others for their difficulties. But when you assume full responsibility, you recover control. Instead of saying it happened to me, you think, what can I do to change this situation? This simple change of perspective can be the first step to success. Musk applies this principle in all areas of your life, and you can do the same. Want to improve your finances? Take responsibility for your spending and start learning about investments. Want a successful career? Stop expecting an opportunity to fall from the sky and develop valuable skills. This is true even for health. Time to complain about the lack of time to train. Adjust your routine and make it a priority. A practical exercise to apply this habit is to create a list of responsibilities. Take a paper or notes and divide app into 3 categories: finance, health, and career. In each, write 3 actions you can take immediately to improve your situation. It could be to cut unnecessary expenditures, start reading a book about your area, or adjusting your diet. The important thing is to focus on what is under your control. When you stop seeking culprits and assume full responsibility for your results, something amazing happens. You realize that there is always something that can be done to improve. And it is this mindset that separates the successful from the rest. Now that you know how to take control of your life, let's go to the next habit that always keeps Musk a step ahead: continuous learning and first principles. If there is a superpower that differentiates Elon Musk from most people, it is its ability to learn quickly. He is not content to be just an entrepreneur, he becomes an expert in each touches area. Musk did not study aerospace engineering, but learned enough to found SpaceX. He was not an artificial intelligence expert, but plunged into the subject to create Neuralink. Your secret? Continuous learning and thinking of first principles. The concept of first principles comes from physics and means breaking a problem to its fundamental truths, reconstructing it from there. Instead of accepting conventional ideas, Musk questions everything. This is how he discovered that rockets did not need to cost billions, only the materials that composed them. Applying this method, it has reduced spatial launch costs dramatically. And the good news? You can use this same strategy to solve any problem. To adopt this habit, start with continuous learning. Musk reads compulsively. He said that as a child, he read 2 books a day. Among his favorite readings are The Engineer's Manual, Nick Bostrom's Superintelligence, and The Life of Benjamin Franklin. If he, with his chaotic agenda, still finds time to read, you can. Book at least 30 minutes a day to learn something new, whether by books, courses, or conversations with experts. Also, practice the thinking of first principles in your life. Take a challenge you face and, instead of accepting ready answers, ask yourself, what are the basic elements of this problem? For example, if you want to start a business, don't think it's too expensive, but what really costs money and how can I reduce these costs? This approach can completely change its way of making decisions. Musk believes the mind is like a muscle. As far as you learn and question, stronger it gets. And that is exactly what keeps it at the forefront of innovation. Now that we understand how he uses learning to build the impossible, let's talk about another essential habit: to assume great calculated risks. If there's one thing Elon Musk never did was play for insurance. When he sold PayPal, he could have saved his money and led a comfortable life. Instead, he invested everything in Tesla and SpaceX, to the point of almost bankrupt. What differentiates Musk from most people is not the lack of fear. but their willingness to assume calculated risks. He knows that great achievements require great bets, but always with a clear strategy. The difference between a foolish risk and a calculated risk lies in deep analysis before the decision. Musk does not risk in the dark. He studies the market, projects scenarios, and especially tests his hypotheses. When it created Tesla, the auto industry said electric cars were unfeasible. Instead of accepting this idea, he analyzed batteries' costs and realized that with technology and scale, it was possible to make them affordable. But how to apply this in your life? Think about the great goals you have. Whether you undertake, change your career, or invest your money, everything involves some degree of risk. The secret is to turn this risk into a calculated opportunity. Ask yourself, what are the worst possible scenarios? If everything goes wrong, do you still have an alternative? Musk was only for everything or nothing because he knew that, in the worst case, he could start over. Another essential point is to act, even without absolute guarantees. Many people expect the total certainty before taking the first step, and they never end up leaving the place. Musk invested in SpaceX without knowing if the rockets would work, but was willing to learn from each error. And he missed a lot. SpaceX almost bankrupt after 3 failed releases, but it was in the room that it succeeded and saved the company. Failure is part of the process. Each error brings valuable lessons and brings you closer to the hit. So if you want to win something grand, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Analyze the risks, prepare for failures, and throw yourself with intelligence. And speaking of thinking big, Musk's next habit is exactly about a great vision and relentless execution. Elon Musk doesn't think small. For him, it is not enough to create an electric car. I need to transform the entire auto industry. It is not enough to launch satellites. The goal is to colonize Mars. This 10x thinking mindset means seeking exponential improvements rather than incremental advances. While most try to grow 10, Musk seeks to grow 10 times. This approach may seem radical, but that is what sets it apart from any other entrepreneur. Having a grand vision is the first step, but without execution, it is worth nothing. Musk is obsessed with taking ideas out of paper. He not only talks about turning the world, he acts urgently. Your secret? Divide gigantic goals into smaller and achievable goals, closely following each progress. You can apply this to your own growth. Instead of dreaming of getting rich, for example, define a specific plan, such as learning to invest, creating an extra income source, or improving a valuable ability. Another essential factor of Musk's mindset is resilience in the face of criticism. He was already called crazy, suffered media attacks, and faced moments of almost bankruptcy. But instead of giving up, he used each obstacle as a fuel. If you have a bold goal, expect resistance. Many people will try to demotivate you. But remember, the greatest visionaries in history were ridiculed before they were recognized. To develop this mindset, start training your strategic vision. Ask yourself, am I thinking big enough? Often we limit our own potential without realizing it. What seems impossible today can be just a matter of time, learning, and targeted effort. Dreaming big costs nothing, but it can change everything. Musk not only dreams, he transforms dreams into reality. And for that, he knows he needs the best people by his side. This is the last habit. We will explore team construction and smart delegation. As great as Elon Musk is, he did not build his empires alone. One of the secrets of your success is the ability to attract the best talents and create highly efficient teams. He knows that an ambitious view only comes true when exceptional people work together. For Musk, a company is a living organism, and each member must significantly add value. His strategy for setting up elite teams begins in the careful selection. He doesn't just look for diplomas or experience, but bright people, resilient, and in love with solving difficult problems. Musk has already stated that he prefers to hire someone self-taught and highly motivated than a professional with a flawless curriculum, but without initiative. In your daily life, this means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to grow. Another crucial point is the intelligent delegation. Unlike many think, delegating is not just distributing tasks, but giving autonomy for the right people to make strategic decisions. Musk is deeply involved in the critical areas of their companies, but trusts their projects to high-level experts. If you want to grow your career or business, you need to learn to trust those who have more knowledge in certain areas than you. Creating a culture of innovation and continuous learning is also one of its priorities. In companies like Tesla and SpaceX, the rule is simple: be part of the solution or get out of the way. This means that employees are encouraged to think for themselves, propose innovative ideas, and challenge the status quo. In your life, you can apply this by fostering knowledge exchange environments and always seeking to learn from those who are a step ahead. No great visionary builds something alone. Musk understood this early on and made the construction of teams one of his greatest strengths. Now that you know the habits that drive your success, it's time to apply this knowledge to your own journey. Let's end with a motivating conclusion so that you put it all into practice. You just learned the habits that drive the success of one of the greatest visionaries of our generation. But most importantly, these habits are not exclusive to Elon Musk. You can also adopt them and transform your life. The secret is not to imitate your extreme lifestyle, but to incorporate these practices intelligently into your daily life. Start by choosing a habit that resonated with you the most and apply it immediately. Remember, Musk's success comes from consistent action and relentless commitment to its goals. The simple fact that you are reading this text already shows that you are seeking change and growth, and this is the first step in achieving what many consider impossible. Now, don't let the knowledge just be in theory. Start putting it into practice today. And here is a challenge: what habit are you going to adopt today to step toward your success? Leave it in the comments and share this video with other people who, like you, are ready to reach great things. If you like the content, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications to receive more tips on how to transform your life and achieve your biggest goals. Now it's with you. Are you ready to start the journey toward success?